moment to just kind of adjust, to get comfortable, and to settle in. And to help you settle in, when you close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just start to feel your body relaxing a little bit more. And you might even start to feel your body connecting to the ground, to the mat. And then no matter where you are on your mat, just start to lengthen the spine a little bit here. If you're sitting, you'll feel your head kind of reaching up towards the ceiling. If you're laying down, you might feel the body kind of lengthening outward with a slight tuck of the chin and a slight drawing or a slight tilt of the pelvic so that that low back starts to come towards the mat, towards the ground. And no matter where you are, start to relax the face, just letting go of tension in the forehead. Let your eyes just be gently closed. And that jaw, start to really soften it so you can create some space between the top and bottom row of teeth. And as you do that, see if maybe the tongue can relax between that space. And you might start to notice the throat softens and relaxes a little bit as you do that. Now, if you would like, you can either just relax the shoulders or maybe shrug the shoulders a few times to help soften them and let them come down and away from the ears. Spread the fingers and the toes and just kind of let them soften and relax. And now begin to relax your mind. And by relaxing your mind, all you're doing is just starting to let all that junk kind of go. Knowing that it doesn't have a place right now in your practice, in this moment. And see if you can just start to let all that wandering and all the stuff in the mind just start to kind of just let go or melt down and away. It's easy to hold on to things. And it's really easy to become distracted, especially when we're practicing in our own home. So just see if you can practice that, drawing that awareness inward and letting go of all the other stuff. And to help you do that, let your breath be your anchor. Let it help you stay focused and in this present moment. So before changing your breath, just notice your natural in-breath and your natural out-breath. You may even start to notice parts of the body that moves with the breath. So just explore it, connect with it. If your mind starts to wander, draw it back to the breath. Now just begin to deepen and lengthen that breath. And as you deepen and lengthen, try to keep the shoulders relaxed and the jaw softened. But also see if you can take that breath down deep into the deepest part of your belly. Let it swirl around and come all the way back up and out. So just continue to breathe deep for a few rounds, connecting, softening. And keeping that focus in the here and now. Now keeping your breath deep, parts of the body soften. Add a little effort through your core by drawing the navel in towards the spine a little bit. As you create a little bit of effort in this area, just check back in, relax where you need to, and deepen that breath. One more deep breath. Don't feel rushed through it. At the end of that breath, draw your hands into prayer, the palms touching one another and your thumb creases, finding the chest kind of placed where the heart may lie. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And just begin to set your intention for today's practice. Finding that word, that phrase, that Sankappa, resolve. Honor what comes to you and honor what's needed. Never feel rushed, but once you have said it, just repeat it back to yourself. Seal it in your heart space so it can follow and be with you throughout your practice. Once it's there, release and relax the arms, and then begin to open the eyes back to the room when you're ready. All right, if you're sitting up, just come down to a laying position. As you come down into a laying position, start by drawing the knees in towards the chest. As the knees come in, wrap your arms around those legs. You can draw the knees in a little bit if you like. You can even lift the head up for that first little stretch, but then release the head gently down. The hands being around the knees. All you're going to do is squeeze those knees in as much as you can so those elbows bend. Now start to draw the knees forward until those arms can no longer hold on to those knees. Good, so those arms are straightened. Now draw those knees back in, bending those elbows. Good, so do that just a few times, letting those knees go forward so the arms straighten, still able to hold on to those knees. Then draw those legs back in, bending those elbows. Good. One more time. And the next time you draw the knees in, if you want to lift that head up one more time, that's okay. But then release it right back down. Good. All right. Wrap your hands around the right knee, lengthen the left leg onto the mat. As that left leg is lengthened and on the mat, then engage both feet as though you're pressing against a wall. Soften the shoulders, make sure they're not shrugged up, but just relax them down and draw them towards the mat. Good. Squeeze the knee in for a little stretch. Good. Now lengthen the leg up. Instead of reaching the arms, draw the hand behind the leg. So maybe it comes onto the thigh, maybe it's the calf, just depending on where you want that stretch to be. And then draw the heel forward a little bit. So it's very similar to when we had the hands on the knee. You're still able to hold on to that leg. Then bend the knee, draw it back in, and the arms can wrap back around the top if that feels more comfortable. So do that just a few times. Lengthen the right leg, the hands come behind the knee or maybe above. Start to draw the heel down a little bit so you straighten those arms. And then bend the knee, wrap the arms either back around or just squeeze that leg back in. Good, so you're just gonna do that a few times at your own pace, breathing deep. Good, one more time. And when you lengthen that leg, come into a place where you can pause. Tuck the chin, engage the feet, a little bit of core, and breathe deep. Good, one more deep breath, draw the knee in. You can squeeze however you would like, and just take 2 deep breaths here. Good, and then release that leg however you would like to lengthen it back down to meet the left. Reach your arms up and overhead. Point your toes, reach your hands back, and full body stretch through the body here. Good, exhale, release, engage the feet. Start to draw the left knee in and wrap the arms around that leg. Engage the feet as though you're pressing against a wall. Good. Just like the other side. If you would like, when you lengthen the leg, the hand can come behind the thigh or the calf. As you lengthen that leg up, draw the heel down. So you're going to feel the stretch through the leg. You're going to feel it through the shoulders. Then bend the knee, and the hand can stay behind the leg or it can come back on top. It just depends on how deep you want that squeeze or where it feels good for you. Keep the feet engaged and just begin to flow through these movements. You did it on the right side, so it's the same thing on the left. It just might feel a little different, so explore that. A few more times, don't feel rushed. The next time that leg lengthens, come into a place of stillness. Breathing deep, feet engaged, tuck the chin, little core. And I can't say it enough, breathe deep. Good, one more, and then draw the knee in. Stay here for 2 deep breaths. Good. Then however's easiest for you, lengthen that leg to meet the right. Reach the arms up and overhead, full body stretch. So you're pointing those toes, you're reaching the hands back, you're feeling your body just being pulled from one end to the other. Good. Then exhale, draw those arms back down, engage the feet, toes pointing up. Tuck the chin. Good. All right, so draw the feet onto the mat. Adjust if you need to, and make sure you have a little bit of room. Start to draw your arms out into a T position, creating a straight line from the finger into the shoulder, from the shoulder out to the other finger. Your knees are bent, but start to walk your feet wide. So maybe they find the long edges of your mat. Maybe they want to be in just a little closer or a little bit wider than those edges, and that's okay. Create a little bit of core. Tuck the chin. Soften those shoulders. On your next exhale, start to lower your knees over to the right. And if it feels good, gaze over to the left. Breathe and notice what you're feeling through the body. Draw the legs back up to center and the head back to center. Realign so the feet are still wide, the core is still engaged. Lower now to the left on the exhale and gaze to the right. Breathe and notice how this feels. Then come back up to center. Realign, re-engage. And just begin to flow through these windshield lights. On your exhale, you lower to one side. Breathe deep and check in. Then on your next inhale, the knees and the head come back to center. This is where you realign and re-engage. And just start to flow through the movements. Don't feel rushed. The next time your legs come over to your right side, pause there, but don't pause the breathing. Notice what you're feeling. Notice what's happening. Where's your effort? Where's your ease? And let your focus be on what you're feeling and what's happening right now. Okay, come back to center. Make sure feet are still wide, core is engaged. Then lower to the left when you're ready. Again, coming into a place of stillness, but finding your effort, your ease, checking in, listening, and just staying in the moment. All right, come back to center. As you come back to center, walk the feet in closer. Keep the feet in line with the hips. So they're not fully to touch, but they're not too wide. Arms come back down by your sides for now, or you can keep them out at T. It's just whatever kind of feels best on the shoulders for this moment. Draw the right knee in, and then take your right ankle and draw it onto the left thigh. Good. Start to actively kind of, if it hurts, don't do it, but just actively kind of push that right knee away from the body so it goes forward. And then see if you can draw the left knee in. Good. Sometimes that knee comes back in, that right knee. See if you can just open it a little bit, that hip, that knee forward. Take your hands, your right hand's gonna go in between the right leg and the left thigh. The left arm comes around, and they're just gonna find the back of that left thigh. Activate both feet as though you're pressing against a wall. And this left foot sometimes just wants to hang out. See if you can draw that ankle in line with the knee. So a lot of times you might not be able to tell. You have to kind of look to the side, or you just start to see all your toes. All right. So when you're ready, tuck the chin, draw the core in, start to breathe deep and lengthen that left leg up towards the ceiling. Actively push that right knee forward. Good. Slowly bend that left knee. But again, don't let it just fall or hang down. Try to keep it in line with the knee. All right, lengthen that leg again. Good. Exhale, gently draw that heel in line with the knee. Good. So do this just a few times. Lengthening that left leg and then gently bending that left leg. Keep actively pushing that right knee forward, the feet engaged, and the core slightly engaged. The next time your leg lengthens, come into a place of stillness. Keep the feet engaged, core engaged. Actively open that right hip. And if you want extra stretch through the shoulders, you can start to draw that left heel down like we did at the beginning of practice. One more deep breath, then bend the knee. Release the hands and draw the left foot to the floor. Take your right leg and completely cross it over the left so that the back of the right crease is over the left thigh. Good. All right. What you're going to do is draw the arms out at T. Palms can be up or down. Draw the knees in, engage the feet. Good. Notice how this feels. Now lengthen. So keeping those legs kind of touched, what's going to happen is the ankles are going to connect and you're going to lengthen the legs up towards the ceiling. Good. Uncross the ankles so the feet are next to each other. The legs are lengthened. Bend the knees. Draw the feet down onto the mat. Good. Readjust, realign, soften where you need to. Now the left knee comes in and that ankle comes onto the right thigh. Good. Start to push that left knee forward a little bit. So you're going to feel a stretch and it might feel good through the hip. Engage that foot and draw the right knee in. Good. Engage both feet and check in. So make sure that foot's not just hanging down, but it's kind of creating that nice 90-degree angle. Hands come back around the thigh, so the left hand comes in between that opening. Try to open that hip a little bit by drawing the knee forward. Good. Same movement. Lengthen the right leg up. Good. Feel that stretch. Keep the feet engaged. Keep opening that left hip because it just kind of wants to come in eventually. Good. Bend the knee. So do the same movement you did on the left side. You'll lengthen and you'll gently bend the knee. And this side might feel different. Might feel tighter, might feel maybe not as tight. So just be aware of what you're feeling and what's happening, those sensations that arise. And don't let that foot just hang out. Keep it engaged, keep it moving, and in line with that knee when it comes to a pause. Keep breathing deep. Good. One more movement. Don't feel rushed. But the very next time that leg lengthens, come into a place of stillness. Find your effort in your ease. Feet, core, soften jaw, shoulders. Exhale, bend the knee, release the hands. Right foot comes down to the mat, to the floor. Arms out at T, palms up or down, it doesn't matter. But now the left leg completely crosses, so the back of the knee crease comes onto the right thigh. Good. Breathe deep, draw the knees in, engage those feet. Then allow the legs to lengthen and the ankles to connect. Engage those feet, breathe, feel it stretch. Then uncross the ankles so the feet are next to each other. Bend the knees, feet come down to the mat. Good. Take a moment just to notice what you're feeling. Then draw those knees in towards the chest and wrap the arms around. You can lift the head up, you can rock side to side, any little movement you just kind of need. You could even do that first movement we did at the beginning, the knees going forward and in towards the chest. Just whatever you might want or need. Finish up those movements. Either rocking to one side or wrapping the ankles to rock up, or a mixture of both. Come on up to a seated posture. Good. As you come up to a seated posture, lengthen the legs out in front of you. Good. Move those sitting bones if you need to. Lengthen up through the spine. Soften the shoulders. Let the hands relax on the lap for a moment. Soften your jaw. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Reach the arms up and overhead, but soften the shoulders down. Then exhale, fold into your legs. And a lot of times this first fold, we go, ooh, I feel tight. So just kind of relax wherever you are. Soften the shoulders a few times maybe even a little yes and no, just to help to really soften that neck, because we always want to hold our head up when we come into a fold. Good. Reach the arms back up, lengthen the spine back up, soften those shoulders, fold back into those legs. Soften and relax. Don't let the arms hold up. Don't hold the head up. Breathe deep. Good. Now this time, grab the right leg and just bring it with you. So the knee bends and the foot is on the mat. See if the foot can be flat. So sometimes having it too close in, you might start to feel that you can't stay on the inner edge of the foot. You just kind of come out to the outer edge, as you kind of see I'm doing just to show. So you might have to walk the foot over just a little bit, and that's okay. So come into that place where that knee can be upright. Left foot is engaged. Wrap your arms around the right knee. Lengthen the spine up. Good. And then what you're going to do is come into a fold. So it's a little different. You're going to just gently tuck the chin and round the spine. And so sometimes our head can come onto that knee. Sometimes it's our foot or our chin and it feels good. And sometimes we come out a little bit because we go deeper into that fold, and that's okay. Breathe deep. Good. Come back up slowly. Now open that hip by drawing the right foot in towards the left thigh, and this knee comes off to the side. So it might be up a little bit, and that's okay. If you have maybe something you want to draw underneath, you can. But keep that left foot engaged. Now reach the arms up and overhead and fold towards that left foot this time. Good. Slowly come back up. Reach those arms back up and overhead. See if you can just draw the knee up and lengthen the leg. Forward fold. Notice how different that feels by working through this right leg a little bit. Now grab the left thigh or knee and just start to come back up by drawing that foot onto the mat. Good. Again, if the foot needs to come over a little bit, that's okay. You want to be able to have that upright leg happening where the foot can be flat, inside and outer edge of that foot. Activate the right foot. Wrap the arms around the left knee. Lengthen up to start. You'll feel a nice little stretch up. And then just fold into the leg. So again, if you want to be a little bit to the outer edge, kind of in, or maybe onto that knee, you can. Breathe deep and relax. Good, gently come up. Draw the left foot in towards the right thigh as that knee opens now to the left. Again, if you just kind of want to draw something underneath because maybe it's up a little high, that's okay. Keep that right foot activated. Lengthen, reach the arms up, soften the shoulders. Now fold into the right leg. Don't let the arms hold up or the head hold up, just relax and soften. Good, gently come back up, reach the arms up and overhead. Relax the shoulders, draw the left knee in, and then lengthen that leg. So both feet are lengthened and fold into those legs. Good, notice how different your forward fold feels after doing both legs. What sensations have changed. Good, grab the right leg, draw it in, come back up. Arms wrap around that right knee, lengthen to start, but then just fold into that knee. Breathe deep here. Try not to hold anything up. Slowly lift up, open the hip, right foot into left thigh, left foot engaged, lengthen. Arms then come up and overhead, but soften those shoulders and fold into that left leg. Let the hands relax, let the shoulders and head relax, and breathe deep. Good, lengthen and reach those arms back up and overhead. Draw that right knee in and then lengthen it to meet the left. Fold into your legs. Soften and release when you get here. Grab a hold of the left leg, draw it in as you lengthen up. Wrap the arms around that left knee, lift and lengthen if you need. That little stretch first, it feels good to me. And then fold into the leg. Again, the chin or maybe the forehead can rest. Maybe you want to come in just a little bit to the edge of that knee so that you fold a little deeper. So just breathe. Good, slowly lift up, open that hip by drawing the left foot in towards the right thigh. Keep that right foot engaged. Lengthen and reach the arms up and overhead. Soften shoulders, fold into that right leg. Try not to hold anything up, just soften and release, relax, breathe deep. Good. Slowly lift and lengthen, arms up. Draw that left knee in and lengthen it to meet the right leg. Last forward fold. Soften and release as you get here. Good, slowly come back up. Good, shrug it out, little wiggle through the legs if you need. All right, so now what you're gonna do is come to hands and knees. If you're having sensitive knees, use something for those knees. And just set up into tabletop, which is hands and knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Make sure the tops of the feet are grounded down onto the mat. Draw the core in, relax the shoulders, and gaze down. So you're looking at the hands. Good. Tuck the chin, round the spine. Slowly sink your hips down towards your heels as your head comes down towards the mat. Relax when you get here. Good. Lift and lengthen, come back up to hands and knees. As you're back in your hands and knees, just make sure you're back in your foundation, wrist under shoulders and knees under hips. Now draw the core in, but see if you can draw the shoulders together onto the back. So now the shoulders come closer together. Draw the core in if you lost it. Curl your toes. Push your weight back a little bit towards your heels. Then lift your knees off the mat, hover. Then lengthen those legs. Downward dog. Push the chest back. Gazing at the knee. Start to pedal those knees. Those heels. Just notice how that feels through the body. Good. Slowly release, drawing the knees back down onto the mat, uncurling the toes, tucking the chin, rounding that spine once again, then drawing the hips down towards the heels back into that child's pose. Relax, don't hold the head up. Try not to put all the weight into the hands or the arms, but just soften. Breathe deep. Good. Come back up to hands and knees. Find your foundation once again, wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. Draw the core in, shoulders drawing together onto the back. Draw that core back in if you lost it. Curl the toes. As you curl the toes, shift the weight back towards the heels. Then lift the knees off the mat and breathe. Then lengthen into your downward dog. Hips up, chest in towards those thighs, and pedal out those heels for a little release. Good. One more, and then draw the knees back down onto the mat. And just come into a place of neutral. So you're just in your tabletop. Good. Wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. Shift your weight to the left and draw the right leg back behind you. Engage the foot, toe pointing down. Square the hip a little bit, so if it feels like it's popping up towards the ceiling, draw it down towards the floor a little bit. Good. Bend the knee, foot up. Now draw the knee in towards the chest, rounding the spine and tucking that chin. Good. Lengthen that leg back. Engage the foot, toe pointing down. Bend the knee, then draw the knee in towards the chest. Round the spine, tucking the chin. Do that a few times. Lengthen the leg back. Bend the knee. Draw the knee in, rounding the spine. Good. Next time the knee comes in, pause. Tucking the chin, rounding the spine, breathe deep. If the toe needs to come down to the floor, that's okay. But for a little extra effort, just hover that foot off the floor. One more deep breath, then draw the knee back down, go into a child's pose. Roll out the wrists, soften the shoulders, and breathe. Good, come back up to hands and knees. Find your foundation once again, wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. Shift the weight to the right this time and draw the left leg back behind you. Engage that foot, draw the core in, then bend the knee, then draw the knee in towards the chest, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Good, just do this movement. You did it on the other side. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee, then draw the knee in. Keep drawing the core in and keep breathing deep. Check into what you're feeling, what's happening, and what's changing. One more movement, don't feel rushed. But the next time the knee comes in towards the chest and you round the spine, pause there. Breathe deep. One more deep breath, and then let the knee meet the other knee, going back into your tabletop. And then round the spine, tucking the chin, go back into that child's pose. Again, if you want to roll out the wrists, the ankle, sorry, not ankles, the shoulders, the head, just kind of come into that place where you can just soften and release into your child's pose. Lengthen your hands, come back up to hands and knees. All right, so it's gonna sound kind of funny, but you're gonna take a quarter turn onto the mat towards the right side. Technically it doesn't matter, so whatever's easiest for you to see me, I guess. All right, all you're gonna do is then slowly come on up to your knees, and your ankles are probably gonna be off the mat, and that's okay. If you need anything underneath of either area, please allow yourself. Hands on hips to start. Draw the core in to protect yourself. Shift the weight a little bit to the left so you can start to draw the right leg kind of out to the side. And when you do, make sure that you can ground down into that outer edge, so the pinky and the heel of your foot. As you're pushing into that, hands back on hips, lift and lengthen. You might even feel like you kind of push a little bit to that left side, and that's okay. It's natural if you feel that. Feel the back of the foot grounded. If you need to curl the toe for the knee, that's okay. Draw that core in, and then do a slight tilt through the pelvic. So as you do that, you might be like, oh, I feel a little more stable. And you might even feel a different stretch through that leg. Good. Now reach the arms out at T. This right hand is going to come onto the right leg. Reach up with the left arm. Doesn't have to be all the way, but just enough to feel a little bit of a stretch, and gaze to that left side a little bit here. Good. Keep pushing in through that leg and that back foot or toes, depending on if they're curled. Draw the core in, come back out to T. Soften shoulders. Now slowly, you can either have the hand on the hip to slowly lower down that way, or arms out at T. Slowly start to rotate till the fingers, usually it's the fingertips that start, and then the palm. Good. And reach up, gaze towards that arm or that ceiling. Breathe deep. Good. Now a little different. This right arm is going to come down to the mat. As you do, start to rotate forward. So you're going to walk the hands. And then you're just in a little bit of a fold, a forward fold. So it's almost like hands and knees, but with, I don't know if you can see, but with this left leg lengthened, or right leg lengthened. Good. I know my hair is always in the way. All right. Notice how that feels. Keep pushing into that leg. Then slowly walk it inward. Come back up, arms out at T. Right hand to right leg, reach up with the left arm. Gazing up, so maybe you might see the ceiling or the hand. Breathe deep. Arms come back out to T. Again, whatever is easiest for you. Sometimes it's to start with the hand on the hip to rotate and then lower. Sometimes you just can lower almost like a windmill. So just be gentle with that movement. Once the hand finds the mat, push back into that leg. Good. Breathe deep. Gaze up. Good. Rotate. Right arm comes down. And then you just slowly start to walk. So you're in that kind of hands and knees position. That's what's going to help you to kind of know that you're set up. It's just that right leg is lengthened. Good. Walk the hands back in towards your legs, towards the body. Come back up. Last movement. Rotate, right hand to right leg. Reach up with the left arm. Breathe deep. Draw the core in. Keep pushing into that right leg, the right foot. Good. Come back into T. However is easiest. Hand on hip, maybe hand by the side or out at T. Slowly rotate so you can start to come down. As you're down, reach up with that right arm and gaze up. Keep pushing into that right foot. Keep drawing the core in slightly. Good. Slowly rotate, drawing the right arm down. Then walk the hands slowly one at a time so that you're back on the floor. Kind of in that hands and knees position, but with the right leg lengthened. Keep pushing into that right leg, soften the shoulders, breathe deep. Good. Slowly come back up. Hands on hips. Slowly bend the knee and draw it back in. So adjust if you used a blanket for your knees or for your legs. Adjust so you can get ready for the next side. And for some of you, if you're a little too close to one side, you might have to kind of shift a little bit over so that leg has room to lengthen. So I'm going to do that just so I have a little more space. Hands on hips to start, shift to the right, lengthen that left leg. And what happens is, you can see it a little easier on this side, is that side wants to pop up. See if you can push into that outer edge. Good. Arms out at T, soften the shoulders. Left hand to left leg, reach up with the right, gazing up slightly, breathe deep. This side might feel different, so just be aware of that. Draw the core in. Arms come back out to T. Again, One side might feel totally different, so I want you to feel stable. If you need to start with a hand on the hip, to slowly start to rotate, or hand by the side to slowly rotate, that's okay. When you're ready, slowly draw the right arm down. Sometimes it starts with fingers and then flat palm. Keep pushing into that outer edge of the left foot. Reach up with that left arm and gaze up. Breathe. Left hand then comes down to the floor. You're rotating, and just slowly walk one hand at a time until you come back into that. It's going to feel almost like tabletop, but just with that one leg length. Good. Then gently walk your hands in towards your body so you can lift back up. Good. So notice how that felt. If you need to make any adjustments, make the adjustments. Just make sure you're not doing this and keep pushing into that outer edge. Arms out at a T. Good. Hand to left leg, right arm up. Breathe deep. Then come back out to T. Soften shoulders. Slowly rotate opposite direction. Right hand down to the floor, left arm up. Breathe deep, keep pushing in, don't let that happen. Keep pushing into the outer edge of the foot. Slowly draw the left hand down. Keep pushing into the left leg and then walk it so that you're kind of in that tabletop almost feel position. Good, walk it in. Last round. Arms out at T. Come over to the left hand to left leg, reach up with the right, draw the core in. Maybe even a slight tilt through the pelvic and breathe deep. Good, come back out to T. Soften shoulders. Right hand down, the easiest way for you. Once the hand's there, reach up with the left arm, draw the core in, keep pushing through that left leg, and breathe deep. Slowly rotate your hand down. Come into that tabletop position. Good. Slowly draw the left knee in to meet the right knee. And then walk your body back to your original tabletop that was on your mat. So you rotate back. Good. So now you're in your hands and knees position. Curl your toes. Hover the knees. Lift on up into downward dog. If you need a little movement through those legs, give yourself that movement. Good, then hop or walk the feet to meet the hands. It just brings you into a forward fold. Sometimes our feet and our hands meet in the middle, and then we just gotta kind of walk it up a little bit. All right. Bend your knees, sink your hips down and back. Start to let your chest peel off the thighs as the arms come up to frame the ears. What happens here is we tend to overarch, so draw the core in, see if you can create a little bit of flatter back. Good, then lift up, arms coming around and into prayer. Good. Reach the arms up and overhead, and then exhale, fold into your legs. Good. We're gonna do that one more time. So bend your knees, sink your hips down and back, chest peeling up, arms to frame, draw the core in, and push up as arms come around and into prayer. Good. Now hands on hips, take a quarter turn. You're back in that same position. If you want to be faced the other way, that's okay. Walk your feet wide. Make sure they're parallel with each other and parallel with the mat to start with. Now bend at your hips, hinging there, so you come into a fold, and then let the arms come down. Good. All right. Notice how you feel here. Now you're standing. It's very similar to what we were kind of doing a minute ago, but with one leg down as one leg was lengthened. So start to walk your hand over to your right foot. When you do, take your right foot, and I'll show you actually with my left foot. You're going to keep the heel in, and you're going to rotate the toes to point towards the short edge of your mat. Good. So when it does that, then you're going to bend the knee. See if you can flatten the palm if you're on the fingertips. Use a block or a book if you need to kind of keep you up. You can even use your right arm to push into the leg a little bit to help open up that hip if that feels good for you. Keep pushing into that left leg. Breathe deep. Walk it back to center. Draw that foot back parallel, just like the left foot. Good. Any little movement you need, do it. And then we'll move over to the left foot. As you walk your hands to the left, rotate. Keep the toes pointing towards that short edge, but the heel is kind of where it originally was. Walk the hands in so that that left hand can help to open up that left thigh a little bit. So I'm just trying to show you like how you can kind of see that movement. Good. Breathe. Keep pushing into that right leg. Then come back to center. Draw the feet parallel once again. Any little movement you need here before moving to the next side, do so. But when you're ready, walk it to the right, heel stays in, toes rotate to point towards the short edge, bend the knee. Keep pushing into that left leg. Good. Then come back to center. So you're just going to do this going side to side. Don't feel rushed through the movement. Keep pushing into the opposite leg. Good. Don't feel rushed. Never feel rushed. Take your time. When you get to your right foot, pause there, but don't pause your breathing. Make sure you can push into that left foot. Draw the core in a little bit. See if you can flatten the palms. It's okay if you can't. And just breathe deep. Good. Come back to center. Realign, readjust. Sometimes we start to get a little too wide, and it's okay if you need to walk the feet in just a little bit. Walk it over to the left side, and when you do, come into that place of stillness. The knee is bent. The hands can be maybe as flat as they can be. Sometimes it's one hand and the other hand's just kind of hanging out because it's just maybe too much on the joints. But keep pushing into that opposite leg and breathe deep. Good, come back to center. All right, now we're gonna do something a little different. Walk over to your right foot. The toe is going to point towards that right short edge. Good, now see if you can start to flip onto the toes of your back foot. Good, so now you're kind of in a lunge. Now see if you can start to walk your foot back a little bit so you're not too much in, like that ankle's in line with the knee. Now we're gonna set up for pigeon. So slowly start to draw that right foot towards the left side as the right knee is by the right hand. If you need the back toes to be curled, that's okay, but lengthen that leg. You can stay up just like this. But if it feels good, you can start to lower, maybe onto forearms, maybe even all the way down onto the mat. Take a few deep breaths here in pigeon and find what feels best for you. One more deep breath. Come on up if you're down on your forearms. Curl the back toe if they're not already curled. Lift the thigh. Feel that stretch, then release the leg. Good, just a little stretch. Now come down onto that right hip. Good, and when you do, take your left leg, kind of swing it around so it comes over to your right leg. Sometimes it comes onto the outer edge of the thigh, sometimes it's in the front. I'm just gonna make it to where you guys can see me, so you look like a little bit of a pretzel. Good, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here. Take your right arm, bring it around the left leg. Left arm comes behind, just a little bit of a twist. It'll feel good after a little bit of everything we've done. Good, come back to center. If you want that counter twist, that's okay, just a little twist. Sometimes the back goes, oh yeah. Good, come back to center, untangle your legs and give them a little wiggle. Good, all right. So come to hands and knees. Hands and knees set up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl the toes, draw the core in, shift the weight back, cover the knees, then lift into your downward dog. Good, we're gonna come into pigeon differently on this other side. Some people may hate this, so I apologize, but we did pigeon on the right leg, so draw the left leg up into single leg down dog. Now draw the knee in and then come into pigeon that way. Drawing the knee down towards that left wrist and the left foot comes a little bit over to the right side. You can keep the toes curled, but you can uncurl that toe. Sometimes it just helps to start to lengthen the leg. Good, you can stay up in your pigeon if that feels good. But if you want to come down to forearms, you can come down to forearms. If you want to come all the way down, come all the way down. Listen to your body, listen to what you want, and breathe deep. Take a deep breath. If you're already up, stay there. If you're not, slowly come back up. Curl the back toe, lift the knee off the mat. Just feel that stretch through that leg. Good, then draw the knee back down. Come down onto the side of your left hip. So then you can rotate and start to draw that right leg around, and then it finds the opposite side. So maybe it comes to the left thigh, maybe it comes kind of in front by the calf or the shin, and that's okay. All right, left arm wraps around the right knee. Right arm comes behind, just a little bit of a twist. Breathe. Like I said, this should feel a little yummy after all we've done. Good, release if you want that counter twist. Go to the left. And come back to center and slowly untangle and wiggle at those legs. Good. So hopefully you're in a spot on your mat where the easiest way for you to come down, you can come down to lay. If you want to use a little core, come down, just lengthen the legs as you see. Draw the core in a little bit, arms in front, slowly start to lower down this way. My mat likes to curl up on me a lot with my carpet. All right, let's do some windshield wipes to end practice, and then we go into Shavasana. So let's draw the arms out at T. Bend the knees, feet wide. Draw the core in. When you're ready, knees lower to your right as you gaze to the left. If you want that bottom foot to come onto that top thigh, that's okay, do so. But if it's too much, just keep the foot down. You brought the foot up, foot comes down first, then knees come back to center. Feet still wide, core still engaged. Now lower to the left, gaze to the right, and that left foot can come onto the right thigh if you would like. It does not have to. If you did so, foot comes down first, then knees come back to center. Feet wide, core engaged. Add this in going side to side. Next time the knees come to the right, come into a place where you can breathe deep for 3 deep breaths. And when you're ready, and you've done that side, do the same thing on the left side. Don't feel rushed. And once you've done both sides equally, take some time to do any last movements you would like to explore before we go into the final resting pose, Shavasana. It can be any pose that we've done today, any pose we've done in a previous class, or maybe just anything that you enjoy and you know that you would like or need or crave. Listen to your body, listen to what it needs. And when you're ready for Shavasana, get set up. Relax. Use an eye pillow if you would like an eye pillow, a blanket, a pillow for the head or for the knees. And once you're set up and ready, just allow yourself to lay down and get comfortable. Take a few deep breaths so you can let go and just completely soften and relax. I will call you out when it's time. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees, shoulders and your neck. And when you're ready, bend the knees a little bit more and then roll over onto one side and use your bottom arm just to help cradle the head. It's almost like a pillow. Take a few deep breaths here on your side. And then push yourself up to a comfortable seated posture. You can open the eyes or keep them closed. Let your hands come to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Hands touching each other and thumbs connecting to the heart. Give yourself a little bow, just gazing down, so maybe you can just kind of see the middle finger, the ring finger, and your pinky. And give yourself a little bit of compassion for your practice, this time that you carved out just for yourself. And then come back to your intention. And I just want to thank you. I'm incredibly honored and grateful for you to be here, to let me guide you. The light in me sees, bows, and honors that same divine light that is inside each and every one of you. And in sharing that, it connects us. It makes us one. Namaste.